Good morning. Good morning. All good here over in Pittsburgh. Just getting ready for a day game.
Yeah, that is great, and not just any day game. Hopefully, this is the day game. This is the one where you guys are capable of making sure that you are in the playoffs. This with a win today, you will clinch the wild card spot. Now we know you want to be at home, you want to play at home. We know the season's not over, but with a little bit of luck here and another good performance, this can really get you where you want to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's exciting. We've put ourselves in a good spot here to punch our ticket to the playoffs, and then once you're in, obviously anything can happen. So yeah, I mean, we're rolling out a good lineup today. Doesn't look like we're giving guys days off. I think we want to, put our best foot forward and put ourselves in there. And then we can probably worry about lining everything up properly and how we want. So yeah, I mean, it's really exciting, and it's been a fun year to be a part of.
Jameson, you've started 21 games for the Cubs, and the numbers are very good. 10-6 with a 3.93 ERA. You know what they are, but they seem like they don't represent fully what you've accomplished this year because of the way that you've accomplished them. You've had to come back from a couple different injuries and show the kind of perseverance and during the rehab and the patience level and the example you set. How would you describe, number one, what you've been through this year, and secondly, the role that has put you in on this team?
Yeah. I mean, the amount of starts, going through the numbers definitely feels light. And, I hate missing time. I've unfortunately dealt with some injuries earlier in my career. And I feel like, just through the routines and processes as I've gotten older, I've done a really good job of putting myself in a position to be on the field more times than not. So I do take pride in being out there. So it's frustrating. I didn't get to that magical 32 start number as a starting pitcher. But yeah, I mean, I also think on the flip side, dealing with what I've dealt with in the past has kind of put me in this position to learn how to stay sharp when I'm on the IL, whether it's with mental skills training and visualization or, working with the trainers and the strength coaches and finding a way anytime you have a setback to just, use it as more like how can I come back stronger from this? Why did this happen? What can I fix? What can I get better at? Versus like a kind of a pity party. So yeah, I mean, it's like solving a problem when you get hurt. It's how can I get better? How can I prevent this from happening again? And I feel like we've done a good job of that.
That's a really great way of looking at it. Have you shared that with other guys that have been through this? I mean, your experience would probably be a great boost to a lot of players that suffer through that for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, just because I've dealt with different types of injuries throughout my career,
Yep.
like I do almost have a soft spot for guys that are hurt. Like I feel like, you can feel very forgotten about. It's a weird place mentally to be. You might feel like you're kind of left out on the team if you're not performing. So I've always kind of gone out of my way to try to reach out to rehab guys and injured guys and, just try to help them along as well. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm always happy to share. And those are conversations that are happening in the weight room and stuff like that.
Let's talk about the postseason for a moment because you are on the verge of clinching a spot. And Jameson, if there is a 3-game series as the wild card host of the Padres, what is your expected role? You are a guy that you could look at as starting either of the games, frankly. You could look at yourself coming out of the bullpen, perhaps. I don't know how you would feel about that, but have you discussed that, and what could we expect from Jameson Taillon in October?
Yeah, I mean, just off the top for that first series, I'm really not sure yet. This is like a Bill Belichick answer, but I'm just focused on my next start in Cincinnati. But and I know how Counts likes to do things, and he's a great communicator. But I also know he doesn't like to get too far ahead of himself. So, he would never tell me like, "Oh, you're going to be in the bullpen," and then if God forbid if someone got injured, he would feel bad saying like, "Oh, now you're going to start." So he kind of waits until decisions need to be made to make them. And then he's obviously great at communicating them from there. But I really have no idea. And it's kind of exciting. Like, I don't care. I just want to help and participate. And, whatever's needed of me, I'm happy to do it. So there's no ego here. I know how hard it is to get into October. I know there's a lot of great players that don't have those opportunities. So like, I'm just more than happy to just be a part of it.
Really, any role will do. It's a great answer. But I mean,
no, really, yeah. When I was younger, I probably would have cared more. But now it's like, I mean, on the starting side, we've got Cade Horton, who's had one of the best second halves of all time, and then we've got Shota and Boyd, who have been unbelievable for us. So, we've got some great starting pitching options. And, I know it's going to take all of us to get to where we want to go. So, for that first series, who knows? And then, going forward, I'm happy to do whatever.
Can we talk about Cade Horton for a second? Because I think you mentioned that, and it's not overstating it. He's had one of the best second halves in history because he's had that kind of success. You know what it's like to be a high draft pick. You were a second overall pick in the first round, and the expectations that come with that. What has he been able to do from your vantage point, having not necessarily made the team out of spring training, called up in May, and then really being remarkably consistent for a young pitcher? That's been the most impressive thing. But what have you seen him do, especially that has made this season special?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing is that, not starting with the team, going down to AAA, like, just had a great attitude about it all. And I kind of stayed in touch with him while he was down there, and was just checking in on what he was working on and focusing on. And like, this dude is so process driven. He took emotion out of all of it. He was so good about like not wondering when he was going to get called up. He understood it was going to happen at some point. Stressing and worrying about it wasn't going to do any good. And then once he comes up, I'll never forget that strikeout of Soto on a changeup that he had just learned. Like, that says a lot about who Cade is. He's just not scared of the big moment. He's not scared to learn and try new things. And then he's had a few, tougher starts in the first half, which I think put him in position to be where he is in the second half. Like, he's so smart. He's so driven. He's, crazy mature beyond his years that you just knew he was going to learn from those outings and from those mistakes. And here in the second half, you've seen a dude who's fearless, just filling up the strike zone, coming right at you. He's got a 4-pitch mix. It's tough to game plan against. And again, like, the coolest thing for me is to sit back and just watch him fill up the zone with strikes. Doesn't matter who he's facing, he's on the attack. I love that mentality.
He seems like a very competitive guy. Like, it seems like he's at his best when it matters most. I thought he was really good yesterday.
Yeah, he was. I agree. And I thought, like, I saw some quotes from Counts too that I loved. Just that first inning was great. Like, I think that's a great experience for him. Ton of foul balls. They were putting some pressure on him, and a really long sit. Skeens had a really long first inning there. We did a great job of putting pressure on him. So just like between the long sit and then going out there and being challenged with a ton of foul balls and stuff, I thought the ability for him to just stay in the strike zone, keep executing pitches, like, I thought it was absolutely awesome.
Jameson, we talk to Tommy Howdevy every other week here on the show, and we talk to him regularly about the bullpen and how good it has been and how the Cubs seem to have a knack for taking guys who, maybe you can relate to this and help us understand it better, starting pitchers who no longer are starting pitchers, and they go into the bullpen and they succeed and excel despite the role, which is really kind of undefined. Last night, Kittredge comes in the 7th. He had been working the 9th. Brad Keller, 8th inning, 9th inning, he's the same guy. Pomerantz, you look at the other examples, and they're guys who have accepted their roles. How difficult is that for a veteran in those situations to do what they're doing?
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about our bullpen is, like, we have a lot of veterans out there, and a lot of them have been starters. A lot of them have that pitchability. They throw a ton of strikes. It's just like the most chill, low maintenance group. And then when the lights are on, they're animals out there. So they've been fun to watch. And that's, like you said, I think sometimes with veterans, you might expect things. Maybe you get some egos or something, but with veterans who are, like, happy to be on a really good team and be in a position to contribute to a really good team, like our bullpen, I haven't heard a bad word out of any of their mouths all year about usage or when they're pitching. Like, it's literally just a group that shows up ready to go, and trying to contribute. So yeah, I've been blown away. This is the best bullpen group I've ever been a part of, and just watching them, go about their work and pick each other up and stuff has been extremely rewarding.
What do you think of Tommy? What's your relationship like with Tommy Hotovy? As David said, we talk to him all the time. I'm always learning stuff from him. Really enjoy his perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Tommy. Just walks that perfect fine line of former player who also is extremely forward-thinking and open to new ideas, open to learning, doesn't think he has all the answers. Like, there's no ego. It's been a lot of fun. And this is year 3 for me, so it's been really cool to just grow with him. And we've really learned how we like to work together. So it could be something little, like Tommy knows what I like to hear in a pregame meeting, or he knows exactly what my strengths are to different hitters, or he knows exactly what time I do my pregame routine at, or what time I like to throw my bullpens at for day games. Like the little things, like we're just in step together now. So that's been a lot of fun. And then just learning and growing with him and watching him evolve and become the best version of himself as a pitching coach has been awesome. And on the side too, he's just a great dude away from the field. Like, we love talking about our card collections and TV shows and little stuff like that.
And the Chiefs, of course, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Well, yeah, I might talk some smack on the Chiefs just to keep things light.
Before we let you go,
Mahomes on my fantasy team, though.
Hey, it's his birthday.
It's his birthday. He's 30 today.
Yeah.
He's getting older. Jameson, before we let you go, if you indeed celebrate today or whenever it seems like it's inevitable that you will, how do you envision that celebration going? And in terms of, like, there's more to accomplish, and yet it means something that you guys are going to be in the postseason for the first time in a while here in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I think anytime you have a chance to celebrate, you should. And especially with this group, like, it really is such a veteran-focused, driven, process-oriented group to where, like, we can pop bottles today and then show up tomorrow and just lock it in and go about our work, or whenever it happens. I think sometimes you see teams who are wary about celebrating too early or whatever because they might get comfortable. It's like, with this group, that's not something we need to worry about. So I think you celebrate whenever you have the chance. It's hard to make it to the playoffs. It's hard to make it to the postseason. So it's a long season. We all go through a lot. Like, I think it's worth celebrating together with all the guys that you've been through the fight with. So, I mean, whenever it does happen, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then obviously everyone's just going to lock it back in.
Great stuff, Jameson. Thanks a ton. Great catching up with you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
That is Jameson Taillon. First of all, what a mature guy. What a teammate. What a team-oriented guy, what a pro.
It's experience talking.
That's
he
right.
has been through a lot in his career, come back from injuries, and still the stabilizing force on that pitching staff. So you'd like to see him have success.
No, I want him to start game 1.
I want him to start game 2.
Okay.